You're watching MMA Oddsbreaker, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Trigg. I'm sitting here in Las Vegas in the heat. So it's very cool today. It's only 104, down from 112 we had last weekend. But I'm talking to the very big, very large Ron Sparks, who would probably melt down to a welterweight if you were sitting here in Nevada right now. How you doing, Ron?
Yeah, I tell you what, yeah, I'd like to see me a welterweight. No, man, I tell you what, Kentucky, if you can live here, you can live anywhere. The heat gets pretty bad here, too. We're at about 85 today, and it can get up into the hundreds.
Yeah, and you guys are dealing with a lot more humidity than we do. You know, Vegas is dry desert.
Yeah, man, if you can live if you live here in Kentucky, you can live anywhere, man. It's cold and hot.
Yeah, that's why I kept moving further and further west from when I was born in New York, because I don't like the cold anymore. It's not any good.
I hear you.
Let's talk about your fight coming up here with Vitaly Minakov, June 19th in Thackerville, Oklahoma for Bellator. It's their summer series. They're finally back on TV after a quick hiatus. They've been off for about 2.5 months. You're 8-1. Vitaly's 10-0.
Yes.
What does Vitaly bring to the table that makes him 10-0, and what do you see in him that's going to make him 10-1?
Well, the way I look at it, you know, if you ain't lost, you ain't fought enough. It's the God's honest truth. Everybody always says, you know, that my last fight, you know, that's when I caught my first loss, and everybody, that's what on everybody. Oh man, you're undefeated. He's got that pressure on it. I got that monkey off my back. He's got the pressure on his back. He's a very tough cat, man. He comes out to fight. He's got good ground, decent stand-up. I think it's going to be a hell of a fight. He's young. He's 28. You know, I got a couple years on him, but, you know, I've been doing this a long time. I feel confident. I'm going to come out there and hopefully put one on the chin and get it done.
Who are you training with in Kentucky?
Louisville MMA. Jason Wise, my coach. We got John Troyer. There's a lot of boys out here. Derek Sawyer. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of some guys that you would know. Matt Kitterman. I grew up boxing at Terry Middleton's years ago, kickboxing.
Yep.
Greg Page was coming up. Greg was, everybody knows Greg, yeah. Which, you know, he's passed away now. But when I very first started, Greg was just boxing. He just knocked down Tyson and got fired from his camp.
Yeah.
That's how many years ago.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
38. Okay, so you're just a little bit younger than I am. It's amazing that a guy at 38 in fighting, you're only 8-1. But what was your record in boxing before you made the transition over to MMA?
Oh goodness, 14-2 kickboxing. I was 6-3. Really and truly, I was sparring partner for a lot of guys. I was a late bloomer. I should have been doing it years ago, but own my own business. It's not about the money. I enjoy fighting. I've had so many people turn me down in fights. It's been ridiculous. Not because I'm a tough guy, I guess, because they just didn't want to lose to me or even give me the chance. Some of the names from Gary Goodrich to Bob Sapp to a bunch of guys, Tim Sylvia, I was supposed to fight and backed out. I've had a lot of guys duck me, and I guess I just been waiting for my chance. And Bellator gave me a chance in the first tournament, and I knocked out Mark Alata, and I went in, got caught by a criminal in the last one. So it happens, man. But what he's going to bring to the table, he's going to be a tough young kid looking to get a name off knocking me out if he can.
You said you're not doing it for the money because you have your own business. What's your business?
I own a masonry company, brickwork.
Oh, okay. So that's hot in Kentucky. You're outside all day dealing with bricks and dealing with cement, and then got to go to practice. That's right, not an easy job.
Yeah, you get used to working hard.
Bellator, you said, gave you a shot. Mm-hmm. Why do you think Bellator gave you a shot as opposed to anybody else grabbing a hold of you first?
Man, well, UFC, my coach talked to him, it was about 5 fights ago, before Bellator, and they told me get a win over a decent opponent, we'll sign Ron right in. We want one decent opponent with a name. I come in there and I knocked out Greg Maynard, which was a 4-0 up-and-comer heavyweight here in Louisville for Bellator. I knocked him out in, I think it's 57 seconds, and Bellator signed me. And I was going into a $100,000 tournament versus UFC giving me $3,000 or whatever they were going to give me.
4-4 probably, or 5-5, more than likely.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. I mean, it was a no-brainer. I'm going with Bellator. And I'm kind of old school, you know. I don't switch coaches. If something ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, Bellator, man, I'm happy. They treat me like gold.
You know, and that's really the thing. Right now, Bellator is kind of getting a bad rap because the Eddie Alvarez situation, the young Nam Fan situation, where they're trying to get out of their contracts, they're trying to switch camps, they're trying to switch coaches. Like the whole game is going on, And Bellator is getting the bad rap because they're fighting for what they think will be their crown jewel. If they keep Alvarez, he'll be one of their stars. And so they're trying to do that game. And it's very difficult from a promotion standpoint to keep everybody happy. But at least to me, it sounds like you're very happy with the way that they're treating you, at least to this point.
Oh man, I'm telling you what, I've been around a little bit and I've got to see things. Bellator, actually, I've never seen nothing like it. I ain't just saying because I'm with them.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they treat you like gold. I mean, I feel like I'm already the champion. You know how good they treat me, and that's no joke. You get off the plane, you go there in the hotel, man. They just treat you really good, and the money is phenomenal.
Now
they treat a fighter with.
You come from a boxing background, and you're talking about how good Bellator is treating you as a fighter. In boxing, was your experience the same? Because we've all heard, I'm an MMA guy. I was never in boxing. I love boxing. I watch boxing.
Yeah.
But I've never been behind the scenes in boxing, knowing how the whole game goes. I live in Vegas, so I hang out with Tyson all the time when he's here. Like, I see him all the time, and he just talks about how corrupt it was, and the reason why he's broke is because of Don King, and this, that, and the other thing. Like, what's the difference between the way that you were treated in boxing and the way you're being treated right now in MMA by Bellator?
Well, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of cutthroats in the business. There's no question about it. Or managers on up. Boxing, there's a whole lot. The game's been around longer than MMA, so there's a lot more in it. But I mean, it's a total difference, man. To be honest, I would never go anyplace else. I even told Bellator I've had other fight offers and didn't take them just because of it, because I know Bellator's going to treat me right. I'm not going to go anyplace else. And I told them, if anybody calls me up, I'm not going to fight. The only people I'm fighting for is for Bellator. I don't need the money. Plus, Bellator's put me on TV. Spike, come on, it's no brainer. I'm going to come out there and do what I got to do and have some fun.
Viacom's not a bad company. I'm seeing all the champs right now, at least, with Ben Askren and Michael Chandler, and of course Randy Couture. They're all the Guys' Choice Awards. They're all over TV. They're doing red carpets. Now they got Rampage Jackson. And they've got Mo Lawal. Like, there's a lot of guys that they're putting in different spaces that aren't MMA-related spaces. They're putting them out in different spaces. So really, what Viacom is doing a pretty good job right now with Bellator. The question is, can they maintain the acceleration? Are they going to keep growing on Spike TV? And that's what, hopefully Spike is happy with at the end of the day. And of course, now with the new reality show coming out, Fight Masters, going to be a lot more eyeballs on Bellator. I'm glad to hear somebody that's still technically in the ranks. They're still just the rank and file. You're just one of the regular fighters that's talking about, yes, it's the best place I've been so far. Where when you hear a champ say that, well, of course, you're the champ. You got the belt. You got the extra perks,
Right. And there's no question about it. I mean, they treat the fighters well. I know a lot of guys that are up-and-comers, and they're like, man, can you get me in Bellator? I'm like, man, I wish I could. Everybody's wanting to come here now. I mean, everybody's flooding over because how good, and people know they're getting treated well. The deal with Eddie Alvarez, I really don't know, all the particulars, but, man, they treated me good at the end of the day. I've made a lot of money with them so far, and I got no complaints.
Well, thanks for coming out here with MMA Oddsbreaker, Ron. I really appreciate it. Good luck with Vitaly Minakov here on June 19th in Thackerville, Oklahoma, of all places.
You better be watching.
You know what? It's funny that I don't do much else but watch MMA fights, whether it's UFC or Bellator or Legacy or MFC. It doesn't make a difference. I'm always watching MMA fights, but I always wait till the next day. I always wait to find out what the results are and then see what happened. That's kind of what I do. That's my game. But
Gotcha.
With this one on the 19th, because the fight leads up into the reality show, I'll be watching live that night. So I'm actually going to see you live.
Sounds good, man.